Hello.
You think we're live?
I believe we are.
According to Jason, we're in the Matrix.
Yes.
I said, welcome to reality.
Welcome
now, let me
to
tell
reality.
you one thing. If you come here for reality, you come to the wrong place.
It's good to see you, BC Treasure
Good
Trails.
seeing everyone. How's everyone doing?
Yes, Bill. Keep digging.
Carrie, Bill,
Alderette,
Jason, Loretta,
Team
Danny
Lynch,
Boy,
Danny Boy,
Lynch,
Talisha,
Tim
welcome.
Kathy.
Yes.
And let me run back up through here real quick and see if I'm missing.
That was real quick. That made my head spin.
Bill.
I think we've covered it.
Clark's, God, man, who let Clark's Cove
I
in
don't
here?
know. It's
scraping
Danny the bottom.
Boy. Yeah, I think we pretty well good. David Alfonsetti. How can we forget the Fonz? Okay, so yes. And Chris Golding.
Yes, Chris Golding. Good to see you.
We forgot Chris Golding. Sorry about that. There he is. And
there's Richie, the Marble Man.
The Mad Marble Man, Madison, Maine.
Good to see you, Richie.
Richie.
Enjoyed going through. Have been enjoying going through your vids.
We could do this. The Mad Marble Man in Madison, Maine.
Yeah, there we go. That's lots of M's.
That's a lot of M's there, isn't
it? Yeah. Oh, goodness.
Absolutely. But yeah. Oh, well, it's been a busy week here, guys. We've actually got in some creek walking this week. Got in some metal detecting this week. Got into some poison ivy this week.
Robert is speckled and I'm speckled in some of the same places as Robert.
Top of my hands and on my legs and on my belly.
Yeah. Hey, Jim Steele. Good to see you.
So, yeah. Needless to say, yeah, we've been poison ivy, poison oak, poison.
It was poison something.
Something, because where we have been over where they're doing all the brush cutting at the park in the area that's got grown up because
where Robert found his
where I found the walking half liberty.
Yes. Hey, Yody's Finds. Good to see you.
We went back over in that area, and of course where they're trimming and all them vines are freshly cut and all that stuff's exposed, and all I have to do is look at it, guys.
Oh my gosh, that's the truth. He can look at it and breaks out and welts.
I get it. So yeah, so we're scratching, itching, and
trying to keep our hands away from our eyes.
I'm too late. All around this eye is.
Hey, PA Relic Hunters, good to see you.
Because we have been getting out. You probably tell we got some sun. We've been out
walking
in the sun
daily
and trying to walk daily.
Yeah,
we've had some really good.
Marty Verstahl.
Had some really good weather here. I'm supposed to get some strong storms tonight.
The wind has been blowing wicked today.
Oh my God! Well, it's March.
I know it's March, but extra Marchy
winds.
Yes, yes.
But we're supposed to have thunderstorms and some really strong storms tonight. So, other than that, like I said, we've been walking the creek. We've done some creek walking.
Yes, we have.
The other day.
And I love it.
We had a pretty good day.
Hey, Javier Garcia, good to see you.
And you're going to see this in the video. It'll be a couple of weeks. So we're going to go ahead and show you some of these finds. But Melissa found this little red heart in the creek. And let me tell you guys, it's just a red heart. It looks red. It's completely red. You look at the light through it, red. Well, today I decided to put the blue light on the marbles we have been finding over in the creek. And this heart was laying there. And I'm like, what? It looks odd. So I turned it over, and on the back of it, you're not going to be able to see it. I can't show you on here. We've done tried.
So you guys could see it.
All the back of this and down this side, and this side glow.
It glows.
Orange.
Yes, it glows.
But to look at it like this, it's just a red glass heart.
Yeah.
So
I thought that was a great find.
That was a really cool find. You all will get to see that on camera here in a few weeks. So hey, Javier Garcia, thanks for joining him. PA Dave over at PA Relic and Marty Verstahl.
Yes, so glad to see each and every one of you.
We've been now.
Don't let them.
Granted, guys, we haven't really been digging when we're walking, doing this creek hunts, we haven't really been digging. We're just walking and eyeballing.
We've done once.
Yeah. So we had marble number 1.
Yep.
I think that one was Melissa's. Then we have marble number 2, which I found the other day. This was when we were metal detecting. I found this laying on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
While we were metal detecting this old house that's getting ready to be torn down.
Yes.
Once again, I said our new mayor in Huntington is on a mission, and they have got house after house after house after house boarded, tagged, ready for demolition. We're trying to drive around and find all
that's all fair game.
Because it's all fair game. Long as we don't go in the structure, we can metal detect the grounds. As long as they're not too trained. A lot of these places you got to realize, guys, because drug dealers, vagrancy and squatters, and they just throw the trash. You can't hunt some of these houses. We went to one the other day, and I was like, Melissa, there's no way we can metal detect this. There's
I just turned my detector off.
Trash.
J-Man, Metal Shark's good to see you.
Too much garbage. It's just, it'd take you days just to go through to pick it up.
I wouldn't want to pick it up. And
then you got to watch for needles. I mean, you see them laying everywhere. So we just like, no, forget it. Can't help it if there's fines under the ground or not there. I'm not risking
we do, BC.
I'm not risking getting stuck by a daggone needle from some junkie or something, I'm just not. And then here's another marble we have found. It's a Melissa marble she found.
Yeah, it's a Melissa marble.
This one here's another nice one marble that Melissa had found. And this last one I'm going to show you guys. This thing is beat all to pieces again. When I seen it, I thought it because
looks toffee-ish.
In the creek we're hunting in, there's a lot of white stone and shell.
Little tiny shells.
Like little clams. And some of them, when they're turned a certain way, man, they'll look like a ring laying there or something. And that's what I thought it was. But when I picked it up, it was this is what I seen.
Exactly like
just
that.
like that right there. And then I picked it up. And it's kind of tough. What would you say? Caramel?
Yeah, amber, toffee, something like that.
It is beat all to pieces, but you can call it a 6. Looks like a 6 or a 9.
Richie wants to know what makes a marble a Melissa marble. It's a Melissa find.
Because she found it.
Yeah.
Hey, Colleen. Yeah.
Hey, Colleen. Good to see you.
If it's a Melissa marble, it's a Melissa's find. Or if it's a Bob marble. Bob Marble.
Not Bob Marley. Bob Marble.
And then I did get out on one of the little sandbars we was hunting around, and I did find this cool. It's an old Sunoco, one of the car tokens. Yep. With the old car on the front, and then on the back is Sunoco emblem. And if you remember back in the 60s, I don't, but in the 60s, they had these, you could collect them, and they had a little thing where you could put them in it, and that was a cool find.
Thanks,
so that's a little bit of what we've been into over the past week, and just like I said, enjoying the weather here at Clark's Cove.
Today was so beautiful.
It was windy,
very windy, but we got out and took a walk and
actually got a project done.
Got a project completed.
The little deck that's on the back of the house, and then it has a ramp, like a handicap ramp going down to the sidewalk and to the fence. Because Annabelle, we've not been able to be getting Annabelle outside any. So I said, we need to go get some lattice work and just do the top part of the deck.
PA really remembers getting them at the gas station.
And so we can bring her out onto the deck and let her sit out here with us. And so we went over to Lowe's today and actually found some lattice work that was on sale. We were going to get wood. Oh my gosh, that one sheet of that stuff was, what was it, $74?
$74
for a 4-foot by 7-foot piece of lattice.
Yeah, I thought
was $74
logic in that.
And that woman was like, and she worked there. She was like, "Oh my gosh,
that's expensive!"
That's crazy.
And I said, "Yeah, it is."
So then they had, it's like, I don't know, it's the outdoor like vinyl
lattice
work, and then they had that in a
clay.
It's like a clay collar, and it matches the color of the deck wood. And it was on sale for $23 a sheet. So we ended up getting 3 sheets of it, got a whole sheet that we don't even need now, but we are going to put it to use. We have got a couple of places.
It is expensive too.
But man, that was,
I thought, my goodness, and it didn't look that
lattice,
good a quality.
And it's like, you're like I'm looking at it like,
but we look to the side.
I'll go with this here. I mean, it looks a lot better. It did a lot better job.
Yeah.
It was easy cut.
Very easy cut.
to put up. We had it up and done in 30 minutes?
About that.
And usually, let me tell you guys, when a project goes that easy for us,
it's unusual.
Yeah, because usually it turns into a holler, scream, kick, throws. No. But you know it can. Oh, there's nothing more frustrating when you're working on a project and stuff does not go.
Claude, good to see you.
Yes, I am glad you here. Bud Files. I am glad you popped in, Patty, because I was watching your video this evening from last night, where you were looking at the old radio.
A Northern Found.
Well, we're getting ready in a couple of weeks to release. We've got 3. It's a 3-part series.
Yes.
Where we went through the Huntington, West Virginia Radio Museum.
Yep.
And this museum is the largest museum in the country, and basically only one radio museums around. So if you'd have any questions about that radio, you can contact them. Just Google the Huntington, West Virginia Radio Museum. And I think you'll find these videos very interesting. Keep that radio. Yeah. And they have an area of files. And I forget how far they go back. Like I said, you could contact them if you had any questions about that radio, and I'm sure they would. Even if you wanted to get rid of it, they'd probably be interested maybe in it. So you just, be lookout for those videos. I've got a metal detecting video.
In Northern Found.
Got a metal detecting video coming out Monday. Then the next video, which will be a week. So we'll start that radio museum video. So I think because I was like, wow, that's an old radio. It was kind of funny because here we just did that, and then here you are talking about an old radio, and I was just like, that's cool.
Yeah,
I love how stuff like that. Yes, Northern Found, Frank and Tyler, Piney Man, thanks for joining. I will be getting a hold of you probably tomorrow. So kind of be looking for that. Anyone else pop in?
I don't think so. I think we've said hello to everyone.
Robert is the Ivy. Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, Jim, because you said at 3 years old or something, however you worded it, took the cure, or you no longer get Ivy.
Oh, yeah.
Or the itch.
Like I said, I can look at it and get it.
What's the secret?
It's just allergic to it, I guess you could say.
Tell us all about it, Jim, if there's a secret.
Hard to tell, knowing Jim. Man. It really is.
Do you have to rub skunk oil on yourself?
That's what I was getting ready to say.
It's
going to be a possum anal gland.
Oh, my Lord, Robert. Goodness gracious me.
Oh, gosh.
But now I want those of you that were on last weekend, keep digging. I just went for a Benadryl myself. So much pollen. Yep, definitely. I was not feeling well last Saturday. That's how come I was very quiet. And I started in on the OJ.
Nightshade. It was Nightshade Grove here.
Oh, Nightshade. I'm not aware. I've heard of Nightshade.
The only thing I know what Nightshade is where it's dark and it's a shadow of something. like a tree, so you'd be sitting in the shade.
Hey, I'm Zaxxon. Good to see you.
Shade of the tree at nighttime. That's nightshade.
That's Robert's.
I mean, that's my
explanation.
Definition of nightshade.
Keep digging says leave nightshade alone.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Mark, the senile detectors. Good to see you here this evening.
He's probably telling us something that'll break us out even more.
Who knows?
I'll have to Google nightshade.
Yes, you will.
Be something poisonous or something. Go back.
Who knows?
Cause your tongue to swell up.
Split in two or something. Who knows? We've got 23 people with us this evening.
Thanks for joining, everyone.
Each and every one. We've got a little subject we're going to touch on here in a little soon.
They come here for this.
Now, I'm pulling my glasses down. How many of y'all came here for that?
No, they're just coming here hoping for the day they actually get to see you clock me in live.
Oh.
Live in the live stream.
That'd draw a crowd.
Not going to happen, guys. Let me tell you.
Now, he says it's not going to happen, but it depends on what he says. Isn't that right, Jim Steele? There's Adventures in Michigan with Lisa. Good to see you. Dirk Claude said, does it matter what side of the leaf? Jim Steele.
yeah, don't get them one leaves.
Everyone in my family gets poison ivy bad, but I actually ate a nightshade plant when I was 3, and I never get poison ivy now. How did nightshade affect you when you ate it?
He probably died, and they had to bring him back to life or something. Man, who knows?
Things are getting real quiet right now, Jim. We're waiting on your response. Oh, shit.
Yes, but we do have a very interesting subject I'm going to hit on this evening.
It's metal detecting.
And it's definitely metal detecting. And it's and once I started thinking about this, I started thinking, hey, Mark, the senile detectors, thanks for joining.
He's been with us for a spell.
Slow down a little bit. Kathy and I were sick for the last couple of weeks. Between that and trying to run our metal detecting goal, we have not been able to get out much, y'all. Yeah.
Well, we hope you guys are feeling better, Tim and Kathy. Definitely.
You know, hey, health and stuff's more important than metal detecting. Get yourselves back 100%.
Yep.
And even the club, it'll be okay. You know, so just if you had to take, we're sick, things are going to slow down a little bit. Yep. Always look out for number 1 first,
which is Team Lynch.
And that's Team Lynch, Tim and
Yes,
Kat. Yeah. Health and that stuff comes first.
Yes,
get yourselves feeling better. And then everything else. Yeah, you might have some catching up to do, but you'll get caught up and everything works.
They got out yesterday for a couple of hours. That's good.
Don't overdo it.
Jim Steele says, Mom gave me raw eggs to make me throw up, and I just asked for more.
Well, you know what? Right now, I couldn't afford to be eating eggs and throwing them up.
Gosh. I hesitated behind eggs.
That's an expensive upchuck.
Not that we can't buy eggs. I'm not saying that. No, it's just.
I'm just saying, man, that's an expensive upchuck, man.
$6 was a
seven.
They were over $6, so right at $7 a dozen.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But hey. We love eggs. You better not waste those eggs. That is for sure.
Buy liquid eggs.
Got to buy liquid eggs.
Yeah, they're not bad.
No, they're not.
We've ate them before.
Well.
That's a deep, wet subject.
Yes, it is. But we're going to start
talking
about
that guy that found the well because he couldn't see that well.
You didn't say it right.
Well, however, it's See.
Did you hear about the blind guy that fell in the well?
Yeah.
He couldn't see that well.
Yeah. That was a joke I heard on Plugmaster Ford and Chasing Quarter Order.
Adventures in Michigan with Lisa says you need to get yourself a few city chickens and a rooster. Hey,
well, there's someone around here.
There's someone on the block. We can hear that rooster every morning.
His crower sounds like it's messed
his crower
up a
sounds
bit, because you can definitely he ain't a country rooster. He's a city rooster. I think he's trying.
Good luck with those. Keep digging.
I think he's trying to imitate the train whistles instead of crowing.
Yeah, it's crowers.
Yeah, it kind of messed up a little. It crowed. Maybe crowed too many times.
It's warped. Stretch. Something's wrong with it.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't tell you, but it's a little off.
Keep Digging says, I'm getting chickens. The run arrived today and the house will be here Monday. Oh, having chickens is so much fun. Robert and I did that. But I mean, it's a daily responsibility.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember when we had chickens one time and the cicadas broke out.
Oh my
really, I mean, things were everywhere. And they absolutely
terrible what we did to them.
Loved them. And I would go around. We had a lilac bush there that they were gathering in. And I would take my shirt and I would sit and feel and make a pocket. And I would sit and feel it till I had it so full of cicadas and go up there at the chicken coop and throw them in there alive. And man, them chickens went wild.
Them cicadas, you could have heard them.
They'd screaming and whatever.
It didn't last long though. Did not last long.
They absolutely love them things.
No, we raised them for eggs. We couldn't eat what we raised.
Yeah, they were just egg layers.
It was hard too whenever one would get sick and you had to. It was hard for Robert to do that.
Red Queen.
He knew it suffered, so.
The crazy thing, I don't know how many of you all out there has ever had to chop the head off a chicken. But it was kind of weird. When I put it there, it's just like they know exactly what you're doing, and it just kind of stretched its neck out.
Yeah.
Over the it was a little piece of stump, and it just actually
yeah, and their necks
ain't no bigger.
They're no bigger than your pinky.
And it's hollow. Looks like a vacuum cleaner tube. Just that big. Yeah. I mean, so that's why I never would, but her mom used to, where they'd spin them around and then pop their heads off.
Oh, I would love if I could find that picture of my mother cleaning the chicken. I would show that to you all. Now you talk about Appalachia and pure West Virginia. It is.
My neighbors have a damn rooster. Oh yeah, they little bastards. Let me tell you, we used to have little Baney hens, and we had a little Baney rooster, and that he was mean. He flogged me on the back of the arm one day, and I said, "He's going, he's gone." Yeah, man, he cut me right back in there. I turn my back here. I'm in there feeding them and giving them stuff, grain, and then I turn my back, and he's gonna jump on me and spur me. So he went. He's left, and then we had one. That thing was crazy.
Oh.
I broke a stick, and not just a stick, like a part of a tomato steak on this chicken rooster, and he still come at me, and we give him. We told her dads, you come down there and get that rooster. Oh, them roosters ain't mean. I've never had one mean. He took it over there and put it in the crib. Next morning, yeah, I think got him on the back of the leg. Well,
yeah, it went in the pot.
He said, I've never seen one of them type roosters be like that. I said, told you. I said, that thing was mean. It was. It come at me. I'm going out the door of the coop, and it's attacking me, and I swarped the daggone thing with that stick, and it broke it on it, and it still was coming after me. And it was a big sized rooster too. He'd stand knee high to you or higher.
Wild turkeys are dangerous if they spur you. They got humongous spurs.
Well, see, the thing of it is you got to watch, because they spur you, and because all they do is peck and scratch and shit.
The spurs can be very poisonous.
Nasty. Oh my gosh, nasty as can be.
Yeah.
So,
It's a dish. Loretta, that is a dish. Cockavin. I don't know. Pronounce it.
Whatever.
Y'all can laugh.
But yeah, hey, yeah, we've got rid of roosters because you don't have to have a rooster to have eggs. Only if you want to have babies. Yeah. Otherwise, those hens will lay eggs.
Old chicken in wine.
Old chicken in wine. Otherwise, them hens will produce eggs and lay eggs without a rooster.
Yeah.
So just give them some corn and some shell. And
I'm a squealer, though. If something like that chases me, I squeal. Oh, my God.
I don't squeal. I sound like a sailor. You SOB, I'll kill you. You know, my dad was one of those.
God is great. Good to see you from Japan.
He could not stand if an animal, especially if he's feeding it and taking care of it, for an animal to growl, a dog to growl at him or anything. You know, hey, he believed I'm feeding, taking care of you. You don't bite the hand that feeds you. That old cliche, so to speak. I know I had a pit bull. We used to raise pit bulls when I was a teenager, and I had a big pit bull, and Dad went up to feed him one night, and he growled at him, and that was the last time he growled. He didn't hurt him, and he didn't kill him or nothing, but he showed him who was boss. And the dog was 98 pounds. I mean, that's a big pit bull. And he was solid muscle, and he thought he could
I'd be rich, Jim.
He thought he could tell you what to do. You know,
I would do it.
My dad was never anything to be afraid of anyone or anything. So
no, his dad
he wasn't going to let no dog bulldog him. So yeah.
It's funny how many people
just don't let Robert lay an egg.
That's when I said we'd all be rich if he did.
Yeah.
I've been chased by a goose before, Team Lynch. Now, I was a small child.
Hey, those things can be mean. You got to realize geese, chickens, stuff like that were all dinosaurs at one time. And they were, guys. I mean, they were mean. They were carnivores. I've watched chicken kill a rat that's almost as big as it was. And they are evil. Chickens can be evil.
Yes, they can.
That's no joke. Because you got to realize they all used to be dinosaurs, like velociraptors and stuff, man.
How do velociraptors go?
They don't go.
Can you make their noise?
They're dead.
No, can you make their noise?
No, but you can. You sure do at nighttime.
Geese and kangaroos want to fight all the time.
Sound like a rhino and alligator.
Are we going to start this again?
No, I'm not starting nothing.
Let's talk about the subject we were going to talk about.
Subject. Okay, guys, the other day we had walked over to the Mexican restaurant for dinner.
Uh-huh.
And on our way back, there's a church close to us, and it's got a lot next to it, a really nice lot and field next to it. And Melissa and we were looking at it and saying, I'd like to metal detect that. And there was a couple of ladies sitting on a porch in a double wide trailer right next to the church in that lot. And I said, well, ask them. Maybe they know who the pastor is. And so we was like, excuse us, can we ask you a question? She's like, yeah, sure, go. Was like, do you know who the pastor of this church is? And she was like, yeah, it's me. I was like, okay, we have a question. Would you, so we commenced to ask her if we could metal detect that lot. Now, guys, I'm not the best when it comes to asking permissions. I wasn't going to try to feed her no BS. And she said no, and I respected that. And she said, the only problem I have is the kids do a lot of activities in that area. And she goes, I wouldn't want one of them falling in a hole and hurting themselves. And I said, I understand that. I went on to explain that how we do things And she understood that, but she still said no. And so I did not pursue it no more, guys. And I just respected what she said. And I know there are some out there that when it comes to that, they'll tell you, oh, no, you keep pressuring and pressuring, you know, change the subject a little bit, go back to it, you know, talk about what history you can find. Well, see, I'm not one. Once someone says something like that, and then I respected that because of the kids. Now, once me and Melissa got home, we started talking about it. And I said, think about this scenario. And hear me out, guys. She says yes. You can metal detect it. And of course, we go in and we metal detect, and we always fill our holes back, guys. We always make sure to put it back as close to the way we took it out as we can. Sometimes that is impossible because if you're digging in dry ground, you are not going to dig that perfect plug. You know, even if it's really, really muddy, you're not going to dig that perfect plug because that mud and dirt's going to fall apart. So the best thing you can do is put it back the best you can. Grass will grow back. Grass, you can look it up. Grass is one of the toughest plants that grows on this planet. It can withstand the coldest temperatures and water, heat, drought. Grass can survive. So, you know, people get really anal about their grass, and really they shouldn't, because when it comes down to it, it's hard to really destroy grass unless you're pouring like gasoline, kerosene, and then even then over time, it'll come right back. Been there, done that, trust me. But anyways, we started thinking, now just think if she would have said yes, and we went in and we metal detected, and we filled all our holes perfectly back, but yet next Sunday, kids are having something out there and they're running, and a kid falls in a hole that may have already been there, breaks his ankle. Parents, pastor comes over. What happened, Billy? Well, I fell in this hole and hurt myself. Well, you know what's going to happen, guys. Well, I let them to metal detect, and they left a hole. And then you know what? Kind of, we're going to be the ones to be blamed. So, hence, that's why I didn't pressure her, and I wouldn't anyway. You know, once that I've heard people say, "Oh, if they say no, you just keep on till you change the subject a little bit, kind of look off and look over here and start talking about history and stuff." And I understand that, but really, guys, do you want to pressure people and make them feel even more uncomfortable? And I just kind of, if they tell me no, I say thank you. But if you would ever change your mind, you ever get interested, here's our card. Let us know. Or if you ever lose anything, a key, a ring, you know where you lost it, but you just can't find it, but you know the vicinity, call us. That's what we're here for. You know, you lose it, we find it. You know, that's our motto here at Clark's Cove. So, you know, yeah, read people.
Well, we spoke a little, Robert and I spoke a little further. Okay, what would you do to avoid a scenario like that, someone falling?
If you have
medical detectors, good to see you.
What are they?
Liability waiver.
The waivers form. We do have those. I didn't mention them to her. But now some people you can mention that to, and they'll be like, okay, yeah. Because we filled out a couple of them before. Yeah. Just to cover. But I didn't even, because she was pretty well, and I respected that. You have to.
But I said, okay, we could have and then the next thing would be to, once you are done detecting the property, get the property owner or whoever is over it to walk the area with you to make sure everything was copacetic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, but yeah, always kind of keep that. Now, you know, do what you want, if you want to continue to pressure a person to try to see if they'll give you permission, I won't. I mean, I just won't. So, and we told her, give her, and then we give her our card. And we told her, if you ever have a function, someone loses something, I said, we're right there. Come over and knock on the door or give us a call and we'll grab our detectors and be right on top of it. I mean, because that's what we're here for. It's what we would love. Just wait on someone to say, can you find something for me? We haven't got that a lot, but a couple of times.
We have got it a couple of times for a ring and for a key.
Yeah. And it's a good feeling when you find stuff for people and return it. It is. It's so, but yeah, just kind of keep that in mind,
Yeah.
Always kind of respect the property owner and their decision, so.
Do any of you guys have any thoughts or anything on permissions and how you've handled them in the past, or if anything happened after detecting an area that the property owner was like?
I've watched guys get permissions for property and be detecting it, and another spouse come home and be like, what are you doing here? We're detecting. We got permission. Oh, no, you didn't. Get.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, man. Spouse. Now, you talk about
that would be tough, wouldn't it?
Oh, man, you talk about bringing you down. When you walk up and knock on the door and they say, yeah, and you're out there, and I've watched guys metal detecting, and that happened to them, man. That is crazy. It'd be like another spouse or a son or a daughter or something.
That happens a lot with elderly people.
Who are you and what are you doing here? And no, you cannot be detecting here. But I was done talking to them, and it don't matter.
I'm the boss.
Yeah, I'm the boss. So yeah, I've seen
it happens. So that would be a tough one, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
it'd be like being in between a rock and a hard spot.
I asked a guy one time. There was this old house. We passed by it a lot, and I was like, I want to detect it. I'm going to we found out who owned it. Pulled in there, was talking to the man. I was like, yeah, the old house up here, y'all. Yeah.
Hey, metal detecting mermaid.
Would you care if me and my wife metal detected it? And he was like, I wouldn't care, but it ain't. You have to ask my wife, and I'm going to tell you right now, she'll say no. And I'm like, you sure?
Danny boy.
Man, he's like, yeah. What is it? I had been told to call them up, and then I did, and they changed their mind, so I gave up on trying permission.
I think it's because they don't want Uncle Fester in their yard, is what he said. You're silly, Dan.
Hey, Bone Dead Heathens.
Hey, Bone Dead Heathens. Good to see you.
Where was I at? I got sidetracked there, and then I lost my thought.
You was talking to the gentleman about getting permission to metal detect, and he said he didn't care, but...
No, oh man, I tell you, it's sad because I forgot I just lost all train of thought on that, what I was even talking about. And who I was talking about.
A man going to get permission, and you'd asked him.
Yeah, I don't know what I done lost. Sorry, guys. Talk about a senior moment there. That was because I started, and it just left. And
I was partially listening because I was watching.
I have this in this ear, and
excuse me,
it causes other stuff just to come out this ear.
What did you just say? You have this. He said, I have this. In this ear. Oh.
All thought.
The man said his wife wouldn't let you.
Yeah. And I was like, you sure she won't? Oh, he goes, no. In fact, he goes, I'm gonna have to get rid of my side by side out there because she don't want it sitting in the carport no more. She wants that built into a room, and I have to get rid of it. And I'm like, okay. So yeah, she was the boss, and he's like, I will. She ain't gonna let you. I don't care what you say to her or ask her.
Just one time, just once. Keep digging.
But yeah. But I'm sorry, that thought just went right out that.
Ooh, Robert, choose your words wisely. Exactly, Bone Dead.
But
they need to work on that, don't they?
So us, I don't knock on doors very much.
No.
We're gonna have to though, and I know they've been hearing that for 2 years now.
And I am not one.
She's going to start helping.
Did you hear that? He's giving me orders. She's going to start helping. I am not one to go up and knock on a door. And I know it's just they're not going to eat me. But I hate rejection. I mean, it makes me feel just like pond scum. But it's okay. Life goes on, don't it? But yeah, I do need.
What do you need?
To work on that.
Oh yeah, we went creeking the other day. Let me tell you this, guys, and you'll see it in the video. I had these waders on. I was given these waders years ago. They've been hanging down in the barn. Got them on. They work for. Maybe 10, 15 minutes. And I said, man, these waders ain't waterproof no more.
Yeah. When he would get up on
walking in the water,
squirting.
And
the water was cold.
My feet, let me tell you guys, the other evening.
I'm surprised he ain't got sick.
My feet were froze when I got out of there and got them things off and got home, got in the shower. They were froze.
Needless to say, they were numb. Garbage.
They were numb, froze.
Yeah.
And I said, I have got to go get wader. I got to go get new waders. I've got to find something good. It's got a good boot built into them. And I want something high that I can get into water.
Yeah.
This creek we're walking, it's got some deep spots in it. Some of it's just perfect walking, and we're just walking it right now. We're walking and eyeballing, and then we're going to start detecting it. But right now we're just walking and eyeballing it. And so
Yep.
Yeah, we're enjoying the heck out of it.
Oh, did you find anything good, Cynthia? She said, sorry I'm late. I was detecting. Get Robert a latex onesie. You know what? The only thing would be if he needs to use the bathroom.
I'd just go in.
We'd have to put a diaper on him.
I'll just go in.
You'd want me to film that.
Yeah, get a diaper.
I found coinage.
Coinage
is always good, Cynthia.
Some coinages are good. I'm done with pennies.
Those
my days of
ones that's all crusty and just little.
Of course, copper ones is one thing, a weedy, but these Zinkins, man, I'm done.
It's tough sometimes.
I'm sorry, I'm throwing them in the garbage, guys. After the wrap up, I'm taking them Zinkins and I toss them. I'm throwing them in the garbage and just keeping coppers and Wheaties.
A big pair of plastic pantalones.
Because they're just they're just
chunks.
They're just garbage.
Yeah.
After they've been in the ground a day or two, they already got holes.
They are total junk.
Already got holes rotted through them. It's sad.
Yeah.
It is.
It is.
So they are junk. So I'm done. Any zinc penny I find from now on, they're just go in the garbage. I know we found a couple of course, we cannot escape finding inserts.
Yeah, exactly.
We found a couple of inserts there the other day, and I was like, I just left them they're on a right where we're parking.
Yeah.
They have like
posts,
telephone poles that's been cut off, and they're posts for where you pull up and park. And I just left them there, and someone took them.
They disappear.
Someone grabbed them. I said, I'm just not taking. I'm not keeping no more. I mean, finding them inserts right, and I ain't bragging or boasting, guys. We have just had such great luck finding those daggone things. I know there's some of you all out there that have still yet to find a old mason jar insert.
We were talking about that with Bill earlier.
Yes. But we have found over 500, and that's not even count the broken ones. And so they're like finding pennies, ink pennies right now to me. I just am, and we can't not go somewhere where we don't find one.
Yeah.
And so here we're over in the creek, and there they are.
However, we did find, not to interrupt what you were saying.
You love interrupting what I'm saying.
I love it.
She does.
But we did find the one insert that was thicker.
Yeah.
Than a lot of any of the inserts that we had found.
Will detectors to 100 years from now say, I got a zinc?
No medical. There
won't be detectors in 5 years from now saying, I got a zinc.
Those things rot away quick.
They rot so quick. All they'll be doing is finding pieces of them, and they'll be looking at them going under their little, what in the heck do I have here? I don't know what this is, guys. It's a piece of something, maybe a piece of a coin. It's been a coin at some time. I don't know, maybe an old penny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they will not be nothing under the ground of them. They just dissolve. You know, it's like an Alka-Seltzer. They are. You drop a zinc in the ground, it's like dropping an Alka-Seltzer in water, and it's gone. I guess that's a good example of a zinc and penny.
Two pennies won't make it that long.
No, they will not make it that long. Like I said, like an Alka-Seltzer. Here today and gone in a second.
Yeah. Hey, Iron Antler Adventures. Good to see you.
Well, that's weird.
I know that.
And Bone Dead is Risha.
Yes, I know that. Now, you know what? He was actually telling me that as if I did not know that Iron Antler was Iron Antler.
But see, Iron Antler Adventures is also James and Risha.
James and Risha.
But more than likely, that's James.
Uh-huh.
And Risha's over there.
Wow. You know, I never thought you'd learn anything. Oh, I'm so proud of him.
It don't work, guys.
Oh,
yeah, it doesn't work, guys. So
I tell you what, Iron Antler Adventures, James and Risha have been hitting it hard with that new permission, and it is a honey hole, isn't it?
Yeah, they've been having some awesome fun.
Yes, they have. So those of you not familiar with Iron Antler Adventures, and I figure each and every one of you all in here, all 26 of you,
very familiar.
Let's go 24 minus them, us.
Yes, Adventures.
Absolutely.
You'd have to been living under a rock.
Yeah, but if you don't know Iron Antler Adventures, go over and check them out.
Absolutely.
You will be pleasantly surprised.
Yep.
That's all I can say.
We
enjoy watching them. Absolutely. They have so much fun with each other.
Yes.
They do.
The fact that they can do, I love that when they can, like us, that they can pick on each other.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it is.
But now when the camera's off, sometimes the picking might get just a little.
She can't take the really getting picked on, the big time picked on.
I can take it because I got my big girl bloomers on.
Yeah.
But boy, oh boy, they just want to rub it in your face. Oh, look at the silver I found.
Like walking Liberty, $50.
Oh, Bone Dead, you didn't.
What?
I had to have words with Beard again today.
Punk words.
Punk words.
Punk. Especially like Ben over there with Main Dirt Sweepers.
Yes, I know. I
think he kind of put Becca just, if he goes back and watches this, yeah.
You guys are good at doing that. But it's only for a season. It's only temporary.
Oh, let me tell you guys, you'll find those fines. Just keep swinging.
Keep getting those permissions. Do you all have something special you do to ask for permissions, James and Risha?
I tell you, I've just got to the basic fact that I just say, can I metal detect?
I'm shy. Robert is not as shy as I am, and he has asked, throw them in your scrap.
I mean, a firefighter. I mean, really think about it, guys. It's truly, I think the best would be just to be straight up. Come out and say what you wanted to ask them. Don't beat around the bush. Just come out and say, I want to metal detect your daggone yard. Do you mind? So,
it's always truly good. Now, I think, in my humble opinion, that it is good when you talk about metal detecting, to talk about some of the history that you have found.
It is true.
Because that will pique their interest. Because you don't know what's out there.
It is best
Thank you, firefighter,
to let them know that you're a history hunter.
Yeah.
You hunt for history. It's not just about coins.
Or gold.
Or it's about finding history.
Yes.
Because you never know what history is laying under the ground.
Exactly.
Do not tell them you'll be digging holes. Yeah.
Exactly, Cynthia.
Plug. That's what we say. Olin Borden.
Olin Borden, good to see you.
That's what we'll say. We do not dig holes. We do not dig holes.
We're getting better at asking. Oh, it went up. Just a minute. Bone dead.
Well, it's not.
Oh, golly. It's not wanting to. What in the world is wrong with it? Here we go.
We're getting back. Storage units.
Good deal. I'm glad you said that, Risha, because Robert and I this has been, I don't know how long ago we were at that school driving around up there close to Spring Hill.
Yeah.
And the school was for sale, and the real estate sign was in the lawn of the school. And so we had a cell phone with us at that time. And so we went ahead and dialed it, or Robert did, and he said, hey, is this so-and-so? We're at the school, and this is who we are, and this is what we do. Do you care if we metal detect? He said, go right ahead. So that was easy. He didn't care a bit, but we understood why he didn't care once we got out there, because fines were few and far between.
I did find a little silver ring.
You found a little tiny squish silver ring, and that has been what, 2 years?
Probably over 2 years.
Over 2 years ago.
But yeah, I think it's just best to come out and ask people. Just tell them what your intent is. I want to metal detect.
Yeah.
Let them know I'm a history hunter.
That's great, firefighter.
If they start about the holes, you just basically tell them I do not dig it, and I don't use a shovel. This is all I use is a handheld spade.
Richie says, all I know is I'm going to metal detect and you're going to like it. Doesn't work. I'd say not. And yet, not to use the word dig or hole.
But try to let them know that you're a history hunter.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I remember when Robert and I were doing curb strips, this one little lady had come out, and she had such a small, little, tiny yard.
Oh my God.
And you could tell she was interested in what we were doing. And this was her word. She said, you all can detect just so you patch back your hole. She used the word patch. Just patch it back up.
Patch it back up.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that.
A firefighter says, I send letters telling what I do, what I look for, and provide them with some history of their property. That is a good idea.
I was getting ready to say, on the history, that was like me finding the, like I said, it's not always about the coins. I found the old chauffeur's
license tag. Yeah.
I mean, that's
history. Leave the backhoe at home.
That is history. because back in the day when they had those, they were metal tags. They either had them on their hats or they'd have them here somewhere. And I mean, that was just a cool find. Now, before they went to paper, and that's history. Finding an old lead toy soldier or something. I love
finding those little lead toy soldiers.
That stuff is all cool to find. Or an old key, which, when it comes to old keys, we have never really found anything old.
It's on my bucket list.
My best key is the old railroad lock key that I found. When neither one of us have found a skeleton key yet. That's still another big one on our bucket list, along with my Benjamin $50 that I still want to find a Benji.
Yep.
And I'd love to find a silver thimble. No, thimble.
I'd love to find a thimble.
She just like to find a
period.
Thimble. I have 3. One is just aluminum. The other is just like a brass or copper or whatever. So, yeah.
But guys, I'm going to say something. No. He's found 3, and I'd love to find 1. Iron Antler says they have found 1 skeleton key. Oh, yeah, I'd love to. But it's not that I'm downing my detecting techniques, and it's not my technique. It's my persistence.
Lack of technique.
Was I addressing you, or was I addressing?
Oh, I don't know. I just was putting my 2 cents worth in there.
If I wanted any lip from you, I'd scrape it off the back of my hand. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead with what you were speaking.
But persistence.
It is.
We can start detecting. We can start detecting, because we'll detect starting out the same time. And Robert and Cynthia knows this.
No, wait. I'm going to correct her.
Oh, he's going to correct me. Okay.
She said we start out detecting at the same time. That's not true. Because Melissa has this thing where when she gets ready to detect, she's got to walk around for 15 to 20 minutes. I'm like, are you going to detect today? Or you just go walk around? Well, I'm scouting out where I want to detect at. I said, well, it looks to me like you're just walking around to me. So, I mean, I have to get on her. I said, pick up
your... he has to get on me. Now, can you imagine that?
See that thing there? It's called a metal detector.
He's a regular smart aleck.
You got to pick it up and push that little button. And it'll go beep. And then you need to get it where you want. Make sure you got it set where you want it and ground balance it. And you gotta do this with it.
Wow!
Start swinging it, and then you got this other little thing that you got to use too. It's a metal detector.
Thank you, firefighter.
It's a metal detector as well. It's called a pinpointer.
Is that so? Anyway, getting back to what I was trying to say. We'll start our day out, do our opening, ground balance, and go. He'll go his way, I'll go mine. And I do start detecting as soon as we get there and get started, despite what Mr. Clark just told you. But anyhow, the thing about it is, yes, I'm bad to get started after 15, 20 minutes. And if I don't start finding stuff, I am stopping and I'm looking around, trying to see where the most activity could have been. It's a home site where you find the foundation, maybe if you know where the clothesline is, or the path to the well, front walk, back porch. I'm missing stuff, aren't I?
You go ahead. I'm reading.
Are you reading? Mm-hmm. Dirt Clod says, I remember as a kid, there was a catch-all drawer with a little bowl. Some of the things in it were skeleton keys for the rooms in this house. I don't know where they are, and no one seems to know. Oh, wow. That's rotten luck, isn't it? Wow.
You would. What is?
Bone Dad said, you're lucky. She said, scrape it off the back of your hand.
You never know when someone liable to took them keys and tossed them.
You never know.
Man, just keep.
Please, Dirt Clod. She said if she ever finds them, she will show them.
Just keep looking for them and swinging. You never know when they could have got thrown out, man. Stuff like people. Excuse me. That's the thing. Back then, stuff people had, they didn't really think it would ever be.
Yeah, skeleton key back during those times was like a common
thing. Would
be
like a key to us today.
Uh-huh.
It would have been common. They wouldn't have ever thought, oh, they lose it out there or throw them out, that anyone's ever going to think they're worth anything. But, you know, now, oh, man, we love finding that stuff.
Oh.
So it's like with the canning jar lids we were talking about earlier. You know, back then, they threw them things out because they were so common. They didn't think they'd ever be worth anything to anyone, and they're not really worth anything. I guess there are some that are, but into collectors. But you know, people love finding them now.
They do,
because that stuff's not made anymore like that.
But when we do find one, we show it to you because we know people love seeing them. It shows you that there was activity at a home site.
It does. You go into an old home site, you start finding canning jar lids.
You know you're at a home site.
You're in a home site.
Mm-hmm. But I am getting back to detecting. My habit is this. I'll walk and I'll look and I'll study the landscaping and start from there. And yeah, you might say that's starting out with cherry picking because you're finding the hot spots.
Oh, we all do that.
But we all do that. We all do that.
You want to load mid-tone, just dig everything, really. Truly.
If you know where the clothesline has been, go for it, because buttons and coins. Yes. Iron Antler says, I got called a punk again today. You go, girl.
I'm learning that being called a punk is a great thing because you have found something good. So start taking it as a compliment. Yeah, I'm a punk. You better believe it. And I'm going to keep punking.
Dirk Claude says she thinks they were just put somewhere and she's just really not come across them yet. And that's how it is. When you're not looking for something, that's when it pops up, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's how that works. I
have not found that silver ring, guys.
He has not found that silver ring.
It's in that dryer or it's in that washer.
And I don't want him popping stuff off my washer and dryer looking for it.
And start taking them
it might not work the same again.
But I've still not found that silver ring.
No, he has not.
And it's the only thing. It's got to be in that washer or dryer. Risha had a great day
today. And I'm sure you will be sharing that with us later on.
We'll be looking forward to that.
We will look forward to that. Definitely, James.
Yes, absolutely.
It's always great when the girls have a good day or a great day. It is. It makes you feel good.
Everyone has a great day. It's not a competition, guys. This is metal detecting. We're all out here doing the same thing, looking for what treasure is out there. It's not about who finds the best. It's not about who finds the most. It's just about what we're finding and sharing it with each other. And it don't matter, man. It don't. You know we all love to see the great finds. We all like bringing our viewers the great finds.
Yep.
But metal detecting is not always guaranteeing you're going to find those great things, but never be ashamed of sharing what you find.
No, never.
Because you found it. You're the one that found it.
Like Robert and I with the inserts, we found over 500 whole inserts, the broken ones. But since you find so many of one thing, you might think, gosh, we've shown so many inserts, but we know our viewers, there are some viewers that have not
found those. I might not even have seen one. I
may not have known about an insert
when I have
what they were used for.
A viewer that's just stopped by and seen our channel, and so even when I find them, I'll still show when I find one.
Yeah,
we will, even though it's like
finding a square nail. After you find so
many, Bill was talking about finding the square nails, and we have found our fair share of those.
Not as many as Bill has found.
No, but still to the point
that it's not a big deal to us.
You know,
but
you got to realize that there are people out there that have not even found a square nail.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you always show your stuff. Be proud of it.
And I'm going to go out on a limb talking about a square nail. when and how old is a square nail? When was square nails
I don't
first
know when when they quit,
started and stopped.
And I think they might actually, for horses, still make square nails, because I have some that's new.
Yeah.
So more than likely, they probably still kind of make a square nail. But now for housing, no.
Yeah.
Not that I know of.
I don't know.
But I'm not going to say I know, but I think you still can get a square nail.
Right.
Those little, I'm pretty sure the little horseshoe nails are still kind of square.
Right.
Because I have some somewhere in a little cup.
A little cup.
I don't know where they're at.
Bone Dead says we always have fun. I can't help but razz him some. It helps me not pout so much. Oh, I tell you what, I get the pooch lip so much, Bone Dead, that sometimes I end up stepping on it. It happens. And horseshoes.
Yes.
Iron Antler just said yes for horseshoes.
Yeah.
And horseshoes is a common thing in fields and old home sites. But I love finding horseshoes.
I love finding horseshoes.
Hey, Finding America, good to see you.
The square nails begin to fade away in the 1800s.
In the late 1800s. Okay. Thank you so much. Because that was something I wasn't sure about their time frame.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Wasn't sure about that, so that's cool.
But I love finding house shoes. My
what
goodness.
in the world are you talking about? She likes finding house shoes. Yeah.
Forgive me, folks.
That's a good one.
Horse shoes, not house shoes. Okay, you can quit laughing now.
Oh, hell.
23 people in here. So
thanks,
glad to have
everyone.
each and every one of you this evening.
If
you all have anything you want to talk about metal detecting wise, I mean, we've talked about permissions.
Please don't.
Dirt Claude says, since we have had to clean everything upstairs after the mold outbreak, I've actually had fun cleaning all the old relics, bottles, books, etc. I helped Dad with his bottles the past couple of days.
Yeah.
Finding America says, good to see you guys. Great topics. I still love showing my old Wheaties when I find them.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I know a lot of people, and I have watched channels out there that, and I'm never going to name anyone's name, but I have watched channels out there where they feel like they've above finding a Wheatie, unless it's like a 1909 or 1908. Otherwise, I've actually watched them just toss them.
I've actually heard them say, "Oh, it's just a Wheatie."
But man, I still get excited.
I do too.
Every time I find a wheat penny. Now, I'm sorry, guys. That's me.
Yeah.
I know there's some channels out there they're so above all of that. I mean, understand you all are like that. It's fine. Be that way. Me, I'm always going to be excited about a Wheatie.
Finding a Wheatie.
I love finding Wheaties.
And even
they're great. I don't care what year they are.
That's what I was going to say. Even if they're so crusty, you can't get the date.
Some of them were made in they were minute, a billion of them minted.
But with my Wheatie experience, I most of my Wheaties are in the 40s.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like 40s or 50s.
44.
I mean, really, truly,
42.
Honestly, guys,
all of mine are in the 40s, and it's the mid 40s.
It always seems to be
44.
40s. If I find something in the 30s, is great.
It's rare for me.
Yeah, but
I have found some in the teens.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought I was digging a penny the other day, and it turned out to be an amazing bucket
when you think you're digging a penny and it turns into a bucket lister, amazing, James.
But
yes.
I love finding stuff like Wheaties.
I do.
I'll never get tired of finding a Wheatie.
Ever.
I don't care how many I'll ever find.
And something else, and I know.
And we have found several Wheaties.
We have. And typically they're not a metal detecting find because they're not made of metal.
Yes.
But marbles.
Finding America.
I love finding marbles.
Yeah. Yeah. I think everyone, the marble virus is spreading.
And marbles are addicting.
I am noticing so many channels are starting. Marbles are awesome to find.
They are awesome to find. They're awesome.
And I love it. I love seeing you guys finding the marbles, man. It's just because there's so many different patterns and so many different kinds, and it's just so cool. Mason Merck killing it.
Oh my gosh.
Finding the marbles. Richie killing it on finding the marbles.
Absolutely.
Looter 8, Northern Found, same channel.
Yeah.
Killing it on finding the marbles. I love seeing you guys finding those marbles and getting interested in the marbles. And that is just because as detectorists, you don't think, oh, I'm never going to find no marble.
You will.
Oh, you will. We have dug signals where there was a marble right there.
It happens.
It does happen, guys. Please trust us. It does happen. It will happen for you. Just give it time. It will happen when you least expect it. Always be looking for that marble too, even when you're digging a signal, especially if you're in a home site, like there's a house, kids would have had marbles and stuff like that, and you never know when you might get a signal and there just might be a marble laying there. Check that dirt a little bit,
because they will roll.
Keep your eyes open and peeled,
especially too if you are digging where the dump site's been and there's tree roots. Dig around those tree roots, because if there's broken glass, oh my golly, the chances are great that you're going to find a marble. Because if you're digging through there, I mean, they will just roll out.
Oh, I do the same, Beard. I'll still dig pin. I might not keep them if they're those things, but I will still dig every penny signal I get. Because let me tell you something. Some of my penny signals, I'm thinking I was digging a penny, I've dug rings. Yeah, it might not be anything precious, just no bubblegum ring or something. But I have dug rings that ring up just exactly like a penny, just an old zinking.
Yeah.
In that same range, which I know the range on your machine and our machines are a little different, but they're still, you know what your penny range is. I know what my penny range is. And I have had rings ring up just exactly like a zinking penny.
Yeah.
Yeah. And keys. I've had keys ring up like a zinking penny.
Yeah.
So always keep that in mind, guys. That's where you have to just dig it all.
Yes, truly. Finding America. If they made a marble detector, it would sell like hot cakes.
Oh my gosh! Don't you wish they could? You could find a marble machine. Maybe Oh gosh,
Can you make them blue? A penny signal could be a silver quarter hiding in the iron.
Yeah.
I bet you've experienced that, haven't you, Greg?
Well, see, there once again, I can get into telling you all that I've had quarters ring up like pennies. I've had the vice versa. I'd be digging a penny, thinking I'm digging a quarter, and
it happens.
And it's a penny.
Yes, I mean, it happens.
All the, ground conditions. We can talk about that stuff. Oh my goodness, this thing is not.
It's not cooperating well, is it?
But yes, I am working.
But ground conditions play a big part, as we all know.
I have done pennies and be like, that thing was ringing up 91. What in the world is a penny ringing up 91? Oh, watch this thing. Come on. There we go. Just bear with me, guys, please.
Yeah.
Finding America, you should be blue now. You should
be blue now, Finding America.
Thank you for stopping by. Okay. But yes, okay, getting back to how many detectors do you have now? Well, I got my dad's back there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right now. See, my dad's detector is...
Oh.
Well, you can't really see it. It's right.
I'm probably in the way.
There. It's the one, the Geiger counter.
And then all the rest of them are Garrett's.
Yeah, the rest is all Garrett. Yeah. It's the old White's Coin Master 6000D or something like that. It looks like a Geiger counter. And, I wish it don't work, but.
Dirk Claude said, I did dig up one of Dad's marbles, which he said he used to shoot them with his slingshot.
Yeah, see,
that is cool.
Who was talking about this this evening in their premieres? Someone asked, how does a marble end up there? Who was asking that?
I have forgot who that was.
Covered in iron, yeah.
Yes, Finding America.
Yeah, I found a real cool Tootsie toy one time that had a big iron ring. It was just like a big piece of chain that was sitting right on top of a Tootsie toy. I was just getting that, though, little high tone on top of that iron signal, and always dig your iron signals, guys, because it could be masking a really awesome signal.
Yes.
What was I saying?
I'm going to address something here real quick. Dirk Claude says Mama's found some of Dad's marbles when she dug around in the flower beds. When you go to old home sites, if you can find the jonquils or daffodils that's growing, sometimes I have found some of my best finds in amongst those flower beds.
Flower beds. People get in there digging.
Jewelry, coins, toys, buttons. So when you're at an old home site and you can see where a flower bed has been, detect it.
Go through them flower beds.
Absolutely.
Always go through your flower beds. But yeah, as I was saying, we was in, I think it was Mason Merck's premiere tonight. Someone, I don't know who was asking, another channel was asking, well, how does a marble end up there like that? Well, I went on to tell him, Jace, basically a marble could be anywhere. DF Digger went and said kids back in the day loved to shoot bottles and stuff with their marbles. They put them in their slingshots. They shot at stuff. So, hey, marbles can be anywhere, guys. If you have an old creek close to your home or house, get out in that creek and start walking it.
Yes, Richie, it was a new channel.
And start eyeballing for marbles. And you got to keep your eye, especially when you're walking through the water and just eyeballing. You got to have a sharp eye.
You got to look for that roundness.
Got to look for that
every time
that
color. Yeah.
Now, not necessarily. I ain't always saying that a marble's going to have color, because you do have marbles out there that's clear milky marbles to milk. But always look for that perfect roundness and a little bit of color, especially if the sun's out. Well, if the sun's out and hitting the water just right, it'll shine them marbles. You'll see it sparkle a little bit, that color in it.
Oh, it'll stick out like a sore thumb.
Marbles can be anywhere. It's amazing how you'll find one when you least expect it. Like we was detecting the other day, and there was one laying there on the sidewalk. It was just a cat's eye, nothing special. They still make marbles today, but still, just to find one, I don't care if it's new or not. It's just cool to find a marble.
And even if you find one that's beat up a little bit, it's kind of has some chunks out of it, it's still a beautiful find. Yeah,
because then you got to start sitting and think about what that marble's been through.
Yep.
Its journey.
You think about its journey until you find it.
Its journey ended up in your hands.
And you think about that marble being made at a glass factory or marble factory, which we've had the pleasure of being able to do and see.
It made it into the bag. It wasn't a reject.
Yep.
It made it to the store. It hung there on the rack till some parent or kid come, Mommy, Daddy, and and then he played with it and then lost it. Who knows when, how long? Oh man, you can sit and think, what is it?
I was looking to see if our marble book was here just handy and I could grab it.
I don't even know where that marble book's at.
It's in this room somewhere, probably under the desk.
Jiminy Christmas, you're asking going on to that, and I couldn't tell you where that thing's at. But yeah, and then when you think about the journey of that marble until it met up and you found it, it's so cool.
It's fun to think about.
It's even like that coin you find under the dirt. To think that coin was minted.
I do not medical detectorist.
What is it?
Remember the game Kerplunk with the marbles?
No, I don't think so.
Old Danny boy.
See, I was never a marble kid when I was little. I never.
Can you go back there, Danny?
Into marbles.
He says he knows where a lot of marbles are in the backwoods where he grew up. They went from pocket to slingshot.
I'll be back in there. I'll be back in there looking for them.
I would too. They are such a joy to find.
But, it's even like that coin that you find. You sit and really truly think about that coin was minted. Then it went out to the public. It's been in this cash register. It's been in this pocket. It's been in that pocket until someone lost it, no matter how they lost it. More than likely, I figure most change is lost because you're reaching in your pocket, getting your keys out or something. And most people, got change in their pockets. And then it lays there on the ground. And you got to think, a coin just doesn't get under the ground overnight, especially if you dig one that's like 6-7 inches under the ground. It's taking that quite a while to work its way down. A lot of rain, a lot of walkover, and then you find it. And then to think about the journey of that coin and who would have owned it, what pocket it was in, but then now it's yours.
Yeah.
Always be proud of that guy.
Always be proud. Dirk Claude says, my mom has 2 old, I think, German marbles that are clear with an animal inside. They are shooter size. They were given to her dad and his sister before 1910. Interesting. I don't think I have seen any with an animal inside.
Yes.
Have we?
We have seen marbles with animals inside at the marble show.
Maybe we have. We've seen so many marbles. I can't remember them all.
She's lost so many of hers. She couldn't remember lucky she even knows what a marble is.
I'm not even going to respond to that comment, folks.
Sometimes I have to remind her to eat. And
hey, Talka Detector.
How to put her shoes on.
Good to see you. Yes, I'm sure.
But see, that's the next good thing is she don't wear shoes half the time.
I'm a flip-flop
She calls them
girl.
flip-flop things and house shoes. She might as well just have bare feet. Hey, Talca Detector. Good seeing
I
you.
do
Thanks
not wear flip flops though when we go metal detecting or when we go creek hunting. I do not
wear shoes.
I do not wear flip flops. I wear good shoes with good soles.
Yes.
Because of safety. When you're walking in those creeks, you never know when they're a piece of glass and there's lots of broken glass. So walking in a creek, you have to be mindful of that.
We are finding this glass over here, guys.
You'll see it in one of our videos.
There supposedly was a glass factory, but where the glass factory was and where we're finding glass doesn't coincide. The glass factory would have been downstream from the glass that we're finding. So I don't know. We're going to have to maybe try to do some research. I don't know.
Danny, you're making me hungry.
Chicken barbecues, yeah. But we've been finding this glass in the creek, and when you see it under the water, it is just like sky blue.
It is beautiful.
But then when you pick it up out of the water, it gets clear.
Yeah.
You can still see some of the blue through it, but it's just kind of clear. But then when you put it under the water, it just gets like completely blue. And it's going to be, we'll show you an example of that in a video that's be coming up soon. But I don't know what kind of glass that is. But I'm telling Melissa, I was like, there had to be, this glass and all this stuff had to be coming from somewhere. I don't know where. See, that's the thing. The park where, the creek we're digging in used to be a lake there.
Please do, Patty.
And they changed everything because a kid drowned in this lake. So they drained and they ran the creek down through there from this other river. And this is just kind of an offset of the one river that runs in. And I mean, it is full of pottery and glass. And we're finding marble. We have only been in this creek walking it one day. We walked 1 block. The other times we've been in the creek, we just metal detected a little bit, but then we went and was metal detected. We have already found 8 marbles out of that creek in a 1 block stretch.
Yeah.
That's just eyeballing. That's just walking and eyeballing, not really searching.
No.
So I can only imagine what. And that's where we found that's where Melissa found this little heart. I mean, Guys, I don't know.
It's just a glass heart.
It's a glass heart. What would that have been to?
But then when you hit it with the black light, it glows.
I mean, that had to come from a glass factory that was making stuff like. And
we have no clue.
I have no clue why that would have been in the, what it would have been to, why it would have been made like that. It's beautiful glass heart. It's red, and like I said, when you put the blue light to it, all the back of it and down the sides glows orange. But you look at it, you don't see no orange in it. It's all completely red.
Did not know it glue until today.
That's the crazy thing. And I hope we find some more stuff like that in that creek.
I'm sure that we will.
It's just awesome.
I am wanting to find, guys, an insulator. We have insulators, the glass ones, but I want to be able to find one. I have found broken ones, but I want to find a whole one. Even if it would have just a little chip, I'd still be happy. But I love the pretty insulators. You need to screen that area of the creek. You know, Finding America, I was telling Robert that I'd like to have just a rake and have the time, because it's a time-consuming thing to get in the creeks and stand and take a rake.
And a classifier.
Let that water wash it, because you never know what's under there.
Yeah.
It's like finding gold.
Well, that's what I was saying. We haven't even started metal detecting that creek yet. We're going to walk it. And that's the thing. It's going to take us forever to walk it and just eyeball finds. And then we're going to go back and start metal detecting it. And then, you know, Lord only knows what you will find there. But that's going to be some of the videos you're all going to be seeing from us now that we're here in town now. So that was stuff we didn't do when we was living out.
We're
going to bring some. I always watch Dennis, DF Digger, and he walked that
Piscataquis. I think I pronounced that right. Did I not,
River.
Richie?
And it's always, I love watching him and the things he finds.
Some amazing things.
And I know we're not going to find anything of that caliber like what he finds in this creek, but it's still just the fact that he motivates you to do that, to get out in these creeks. If you have a creek that's run close to your house, get out and start walking it and looking, because you will start finding stuff. So
Jim Still said that is where he lost his heart.
Lost.
So that is Jim Steele's heart.
I think Jim Steele's heart probably is made out of steel.
Madison Main said you did good, Melissa. I will sit and say that whenever we see Piscataquis River, I have to verbally say it out loud. It's fun to say. Piscataquis.
No, I don't think so, because I can't pronounce it.
I think it's fun to say.
When you can't pronounce something, it's not fun to try to say it. So no. But yeah, I mean, he does. I love watching and seeing the stuff. It amazes me, the stuff that comes out of that daggone river. I mean, you'd think eventually, but it's just like it never ending supply of finds. I mean, it just is amazing. But
you sit and think about a river, and over time,
people throw stuff,
and the things that are thrown, and then when it rains and the waters get up and it washes something down, then it uncovers something else.
It's stuff to them that it didn't mean nothing, and they didn't realize that to someone later on down the road, it's going to mean something.
Yeah,
they're going to be able to find that and either use it for, because how many finds has he's found that he's actually been able to do something with and keep and show,
give to a museum
or whatever. I mean, I think he even has this one little thing that was a cup holder, a glass pewter, and he shows it it's in one of his thumbnails or something. I mean, to find stuff like that you can use it. That's the most awesomest thing.
Richie says the finds do come harder than they used to.
So, I mean, but guys, if you all live close to a creek or something,
walk it
and get your detector out there and start swinging
after the waters have been up, when it's low, after a dry spell.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Flooding, stuff gets washed, brought back up to the surface.
Yes, Patty. Insulators. She's saying that her dad was telling her about when he and his friend took the insulators off the old phone poles back in the 60s. He has 3 to 4 boxes of them. They're the ones that aren't worth a lot, but they're pretty.
My dad used to make my brothers climb telephone poles to get those insulators off of them along the railroad tracks where the poles weren't in use no more. Yeah, I many a times I watch him have my brothers climb, and him too. I've watched my dad climb telephone poles to get insulators.
We have a lot. We have mainly the clear ones, but we do have some of the blue and a green and a real super light color.
There's some colors.
There's some out there.
Purples.
We don't have.
I think there's even like red ones I've seen.
I'm not sure,
but there's a lot that I'm like, I've never seen like that before.
Insulators is something I love to look at, but as far as knowing a lot about them,
then you have even the older ones. It's not even glass; they're like almost like a crock type material,
yeah,
whatever, stoneware.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, stone. And then you have porcelain insulators too. We found a few of the old white porcelain insulators that would be in homes where they'd actually be on the outside, wire run through it and wrap around it and go on down, and we have found some of those before in the old dump sites at home sites.
But Danny Boy said he's near the Piscataquis River as well.
Yeah.
Marty Verstahl said they used to go along the tracks and collect insulators.
Also, if you can find some really old railroad tracks that's been there for years and years and years, always go and try to look for the old nails with the dates on top of them. My dad used to do that. I have a half of a coffee can still full of them. It used to be completely full. Park Rat Pat had come and visited us one time, and he's seen those things, and he's like, "That's not what I think it is it?" And I was like, "Yes, it is." And he said, "Can I have some of those?" And I was like, "You take as many of them as you want." And he took several of them, and we give some away and giveaways to people. I want to think Mason Merck found some one time.
I think so.
But yeah, if you have some old railroad tracks, walk in old railroad tracks and look for them nails. They ain't a spike. I ain't talking about the big railroad spikes. They'll be just a nail. Some of them just like this, and the head of them be no bigger than maybe like a penny or a dime. And they'll have a number on them, like a 69, 54.
Okay, Danny.
And something like that. And usually that could be 17 or 18. They quit making those up into the early 1900s, like I think in the 40s or 50s.
I'm not sure. We did know.
Quit doing those nails like that. But if you was to get out and find it's more likely going to be probably 1800s than a 1900s nail like that. But always can think about that too. If you live close to somewhere some old railroad tracks were that's no longer been in use, haven't been in use for years, start walking in. If you're interested in that kind of stuff.
Right.
I mean, not a lot of people are, a lot of different, but it's just something my dad used to do. He was a metal detector.
Okay,
along with metal detecting, he liked to look for those old railroad spike nails, and he loved to collect those insulators and bottles. Oh my gosh, I've got bottles now. I don't know what I'm going to do with.
Lots of bottles.
Pepsi bottles. It's the bicentennial bottles, 7-Up bicentennial bottles, and
almost every antique store or flea market you go into, those bottles are sitting there.
No one wants them. I got a wheelbarrow full of them.
He is correct. A wheelbarrow full of them.
Full of them. That I don't know what I'm going to do with them.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Take them to some antique shop and set them out in front of their door one night and leave them
free.
For free. Because really they're not, a lot of the stores have them as just mainly what I would consider eye candy. They'll have a display set up with a couple of them bottles there. If you want the bottle, it's for sale, but it's mainly a lot of stores around here use them for displays.
Thank goodness you don't, oh Danny boy.
I still drink
Molson Ice. I too would have so many bottles laying around.
But yeah, well, I've got old Mountain Dew. I don't know. I know Sprite, 7-Up, Pepsi. They did some bicentennial
commemorative. Is that the word?
Commemorative bottles. And man, and a lot of them got busted, because I'm not into that stuff. Bottles like that don't really. I like seeing people find them old bottle, but I'm not interested in. I've got them, and I'm not interested in it. Come on. Find an insulator.
Oh, I'd love to find one iron antler.
But yeah.
And a lot of times when you're going through creeks and you find the pretty pieces of blue and green, hey, Bold Line, good to see you, Caleb. Pieces in the creek, and they no longer have their sharp edges. They're real smooth, where they have traveled, and
I love
the sand is polished. I love finding creek glass.
I won't pick up every piece, but if
that jar is full that we've kept and collected,
it's full. But if it catches my eye, I love some creek glass. I love. See, and that's a lot of people love collecting those old shards of pottery. We went through that stage when we first got into all detecting. We used to watch a lot of people that found and collected the old pottery pieces from creeks, and we started that. And it is a great, if you like that, and this creek over here we're hunting, man, if you was to, we have found some pretty pieces, but I just don't keep those broken shards.
I used to keep every broken shard of beautiful pottery and design, because I always think, okay, I'll do something with it, but
unless it's whole. Now I have I back here on this shelf right here, right there is a saucer and a cup that's what we keep our marbles in when we fresh find them. And I found those in a dump, and the cup is a teacup, and it's all Oriental design on it. The only thing missing off of it is the handle. Otherwise, it is in really good condition. And then the saucer is, I'm going
to go get them.
She's going to go get them, so I will show them to you.
Yes.
Easier for her to do that, I guess, than for me to sit and
that way they can look at it.
Give me the saucer first. This is the saucer that I found. It has this one little chip, and that was in a dump site. And so if it's like that, we definitely keep it. And then the saucer, this is the saucer. And that's like I said, or cup. Yes, I know. Laugh at me. Come on, everyone else out there. Get your laugh in. Come on. Laugh it up, fuzzball. But the cup, and as you probably not, it is all Oriental design on it, and even inside.
That is great. Bold Line
is
Bucket Lister's 180 years old. Like I said,
the only thing was missing, so we keep that, and that's what when we find our new. I've got a jar up here that's got our marble finds in it. But now that they got the old marble finds, this is the new. This is starting 2025.
You've got some more to add to the cup.
Yes, we do. And so when we get this filled, then it'll go into the jar up there. But yeah, when you find stuff, when I find stuff like this, I'll keep it. But
even if the handle's broken,
because
or slot chip, it still has a purpose.
Piece. The camera does not, because you all can't see the detail, and it is just such a cool piece. And that was in a home site dump out in Wayne, West Virginia.
Yep.
Out in the middle of nowhere, basically, where we ATV ride. And both of those come out of a dump site. And so when we find stuff like that, definitely keep it.
Yeah,
we just don't keep the shards no more. Even though we have found some such awesome, beautiful pieces of pottery and shards, it's just you can only imagine what the whole plate or the whole cup might have looked like just from the little piece that you find off of it.
Boldline says, I found a piece of, I cannot pronounce that word, glass, but someone said it is jade.
Jade.
Wow. Awesome, Caleb. That is awesome.
Yeah. But, you know, but we still love, if it's, I'm taking that home. But we used to. We every piece we'd find, we'd keep.
Every piece. And
yeah, until we was like, okay, we had a bucket full, getting bucket full of it. I said, you know, we're not going to ever do anything with it. There's no sense in keeping the shards. I know they're pretty, they're nice. You find
the glass
cool
that glows
colors.
in the dark. Okay, Caleb.
Yeah, okay, the uranium glass.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got marbles like that. Marbles with uranium in it. That's what I was talking about. It's not marble, this red heart that Melissa found. And it's completely red. You shine a regular flashlight through it, it's red. There's no orange in that, but you put a blue light on it and all the back and sides light up orange and glows orange. That is such a cool
I don't
piece.
know what causes it to glow orange. I know the green is the uranium glass.
What the orange is, I know somewhat that it's been explained.
But I don't.
Can't.
My Commodore 64 is not computing.
Yeah, I'm still working on 2.0, guys. You know, so but that was so cool. I'm glad I put the blue, because I was like, sitting here before things got started, we always come up here to Command Center and I try to catch up on videos that I've missed. And I think I'm going to put the black light on these marbles that we found this week and stuff. And none of them were glowing, but then I'm seeing this heart laying there and I'm seeing orange on it. And so I pick it up and I'm like,
Bob
wow,
2.0.
Freak, man. I wish it would show.
Oh, yeah.
But I wish it would.
Cynthia says probably cadmium or selenium in that heart.
Oh, okay. But I mean, I just found that
cadmium sounds familiar.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't know where that is. You all see it in the video.
When I first saw it, because it was, under the water, of course, on the bed of the rocks, I just seen the red. Bed. Yeah. I just seen the red. And I thought, oh, there's a pretty piece of red glass. So I bent over to pick it up and I said, oh, look at this, Bob. It's a heart.
Oh, and that's the next thing, guys, because I got wah, 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 wah. There the other day.
Don't know what that means.
When we was walking the creek and I'm like, oh, I found a marble, guys. Look, reach down there and grab it. And it's a bead with a hole
plastic bead.
And I thought, okay, things under the water, when you're looking at them, kind of tend to take on a little different shape.
Yeah.
Especially if that water's moving, rippling.
Uh-huh.
And if you have sun and clouds,
it's hard to look at for me.
You can be
messes with my balance.
So if you see something that truly can, grab it and reach for it, because it could be something.
It could have been something similar to a worry stone to be kept in your pocket.
Maybe.
I never thought about that. You are right.
Never thought about that, but whatever it was in its journey, and it's now ours.
They lost it, and Clark's Cove found it.
Right. You lose it, I find it.
I
find it.
We do our best to find it.
I find it. She tries. She tries to find it. But when it comes right down to it, it's you lose it, I find it.
Oh my. I need to get me a footstool and prop my feet up, folks. Look what time it is. We have been on here almost 2 hours.
And I don't know. As always, we say this every time, don't know where the time went.
It just flies by because
when you get into conversations about certain subjects,
Yes.
And, we was talking about the permissions.
The permissions and how to handle it.
Yeah. Yep. And once again, guys, I preach this and you probably get sick and tired of hearing me say it, but
that's right, Cynthia. Robert, you found a ring and then lost it.
Yeah, and I will find it again. If I lose it, I will find it. But as I always preach about your permissions, guys, if you see a lot, if you see a school, if you see something you want to detect, always find out who owns it.
You've got to do your research.
Please, guys, always.
For it to go well.
I cannot stress we all walk around, we don't, but we have a computer, we have a tablet, we don't have a cell phone, but we all walk around with a computer in our hands. It's got the world of information on it, guys. It's all there. If you see someplace you want to metal detect, always find out. Don't just go in and start metal detecting it. We've seen people do that.
Oh, Danny Boy says, I have to prove that Clark's found my million, but Bob hit it way too well.
But
he
always,
won't tell you,
guys,
Danny.
Remember that. Look up and find out and call them, whatever. Just don't go in and start metal detecting a place because you think you're privileged. Get your permission.
You have to get permission, guys.
And it's not hard. Don't act like it's hard. What do I got to do? Call the governor? No, you don't got to call the governor.
We heard someone say that.
I actually heard someone say that to a police officer.
That said, you've been in here
You've been in here twice. I've told you to leave. Well, what do I got to do? Call the mayor or governor? No, you don't. See? You've got a phone in your hand. Learn to use it for something other than talking on.
Yeah, but you cannot. And it doesn't matter. If it's a city park, read your park rules.
Read your park rules. They post them, and if they don't, go on your phone or your computer and look up your local
See you, Piney Man. Thanks for joining us.
Your local park rules. It's all there. That way you avoid conflict with that. And if an officer pulls up and asks you to leave, don't be a smart aleck with him, and don't be an idiot with him.
Be polite.
He's there. He's your friend. They truly are, guys. I know people have bad raps against cops, but they truly are there for us. If you talk and act like a human being and you got some sense and some common sense, don't get smart with them.
When Robert and I were in Marietta, Ohio, we didn't know because we were just visitors in the town, so we wasn't real sure this was on a Sunday. It's on the weekend. And so, sorry, folks, that Charlie should be coming on. Have a great night. See you, Jim Steele.
I seen an officer.
Yes.
I asked him, he stopped, spoke with me. I asked him about, and he said, you knock yourselves out.
Your police officers can be a great source of information.
Because let me tell you, if you're smart aleck to him, then when you need him,
you got to think about that.
Better think about that.
Be kind
These
to your police officers.
These guys are human beings too. I know sometimes police officers do bad things. They're human. Humans do bad things. Don't matter whether they're wearing that uniform or badge. They're still human. They still have flaws. They make mistakes. We all do it. But an officer, be kind to him. He's got a family at home he wants to go back to, just like you do. So if an officer comes up and he's asking you, be polite to him, guys. Come on. You want people to be polite to you, be polite to them. I've seen people be terrible to police officers.
Yes.
And don't.
Old Danny Boy says, I had an officer tell me where I should detect in a town that is against detecting.
They will. I mean, yeah, they'll help you sometimes.
Sometimes,
hey, you might want to go over here and check this place out, guys. Yeah, they are. They know the town better than you do. They drive around it all day long.
Well, congratulations, Happy Flag Doctor.
Puppies tonight. Congratulations,
Grandma Jessica. What kind of puppies?
What kind of puppies?
Oh, I can hear them now.
Oh, we don't need no puppies.
I love puppy breath.
I love puppies, but we don't need no puppies. Oh, that's great. But yeah, guys, always remember that. Find out your permissions.
Always get permission, because if you don't get permission and you are detecting and someone walks up to you and says, "Can I help you find anything, sir?"
It makes it hard on us.
And that's what you're going to do.
Yeah. I'm metal detecting. Well, did you get permission? No. Well, then you know what?
Border collie puppies.
Oh. Just always remember that. Like I said, I know I gripe about that a lot and I mention it a lot, but just do that, guys.
It's real simple.
It's real simple.
Keeps down complications.
Yeah.
It sure does.
It does. And these officers out here, you got to realize, always offer your services to them.
Yeah.
These guys, they have to investigate stuff. There might be something they need to find. I always tell any officer, if there's ever any time you all are in a situation where you need someone with a metal detector, call us. We'd be more than happy to come out and assist you all with anything. And we do. Any officer we talk to, we do that. Sheriff, city police, state trooper, I give them my card. And I said, if you ever find a situation that you're into and you need someone with a metal detector, you call us. That's what we're here for. Always offer your services to law enforcement. You never know. One of them might call you sometime and say, we've got something going on and we need a metal detector.
You just never know.
That would be,
always keep that in mind.
That would be cool, because that's what we truly, as metal detectors, we're here to help find things. We find things. We are our own little detectives. Because you know what we do?
That's a good way to look at it.
We go out
to
a scene, which could be a park, a home site. We sit and we look at that scene. We do what we need to do, and then we start searching for clues.
Determine the terrain and where things have been.
And then we start searching for those clues.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of think of yourself as that, a detective. And there are detectives out there that call themselves detectives. You got Dime Detective. And
that's a channel.
That's a channel. The Dime Detective. So think of yourselves like that. We are out there looking for those clues to the past. And stuff. It's cool. Detecting is such a cool
prime example about getting permissions, working your way.
So we're all detectives. We all need to go get badges. Go, I am a metal detective.
Trying to convince someone, hey, if you've lost anything. But this is an example. Robert and I were doing curb strips a couple years back.
I would.
And this lady walked out. She said, would you mind maybe not to do that there?
Oh, yeah.
And I said, well, I'm on this side of the sidewalk next to the street, which is a curb strip, and that is city property, and we are allowed to do that. But I said, if you wish, I can go on and move along. I said, what we're doing is just looking for history, coins.
If you've lost anything.
And she said, well, I did lose my Jeep key. And that was like a year ago. She said she'd lost it.
Yeah, a year before you.
Yeah, before we found it and was talking to her. She said she'd lost it like a year previously in her backyard. I said, well, since we have metal detectors, would you want us to come into your yard and see if we could find that key?
But she says, that's a great idea, Robert. I thought of that. Okay.
And she was like, her tune kind of changed when she talked about losing the Jeep key. It was to her Jeep. And she hadn't been able to drive it. Her Jeep key in the backyard.
Yeah, I remember. Yes.
And
I just messed with her, guys.
Anyhow, I got back there. Robert and I both were detecting, and we found lots of little toy cars.
I found a thimble in that yard.
He did. He found a thimble in that yard.
And a token.
And as we were leaving, I'd said, sorry, we found all this other stuff, but we haven't found your key. And all of a sudden, I get this 70 signal.
There it was.
Took my little pinpointer, and it was not far under because it just been a year.
Your pinpointer's that small?
That far under the ground. It wasn't that far. I dug it up and I said, "Would this be your key?" And she said, "Yes, that is it."
It was the Jeep key.
It was the Jeep key. So she was thrilled, and I was thrilled to be able to turn that negativity into a positive
that she had towards detector, because she's like, oh,
and she said, "I will share this out on Facebook that you found my key."
Yeah.
So that was a good experience.
It was.
I turned it around. Yeah.
Very good. I'll put a star up on your chart.
Oh, I get a star on my chart.
Star.
Gold star. That doesn't happen often, folks. It doesn't happen often. I'll get a gold star if I fix an apple pie.
Oh gosh.
Or some cornbread or chicken and dumplings.
We did breakfast last night.
We did breakfast last night. Yes.
Bacon, eggs, biscuits.
And pancakes. Buckwheat pancakes.
Gotta break down from time to time.
With real butter. Yeah. You gotta break down from time to time.
You gotta say, I've had enough broccoli and cauliflower.
We had steamed cauliflower for lunch.
I gotta have some breakfast food.
Oh goodness.
Well, I'm missing something.
See, Boldline says Civil War was wooden. I took a picture of it in Google search and it came up as brass Civil War era rope tent. He found a tensioner.
Oh, one of those old tensioners? Okay. No. I'm not going to say I haven't found one of those guys. I will say I probably found one of those and threw it away because I did not know what it was.
I did that with the valve stems.
Yes, I did not know. There is another interesting subject. Let me tell you something, guys. When we got into metal detecting, well, when we first started watching metal detecting, but we was watching metal detecting before we bought a metal detector and got into detecting and doing our channel. But the thing of it was, when we got our metal detector, our first metal detector, which is right there, and that is the Ace 200.
Yep, we were using it together.
Very good detector. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. It is a good starting detector.
It is.
It is a good detector. I don't care if you've been detecting for 10 years, because I will still use that detector. And I love using that detector because
from time to time,
once again, I know it like the back of my hand because we spent so much time using it. And where was I going with this?
I don't know.
Seriously, I started on that. What was us talking about?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do. You were sitting right here.
I know. I was sitting here, and so they've been, but you were the one talking about.
I got myself off track.
Yes, you did.
And isn't that sad tonight that I'm having such brain freezes, and I don't know why. I get myself off track so easily.
I'm trying to think what I had been talking about before.
Because you will start talking and I'll start talking, and then I'll get myself off on another subject, and I lose complete track of what I'm even talking about. And I was on track, thinking I had a good thought.
But you brought up the
Ace 200.
The Ace 200. Talking about tensioners, because they found a tensioner. There we go.
And come to find out, we started watching videos and a lot more and more, and come to find out, and I know we've all done this, that we have found things that we threw away.
Valve stems. That we found
out later was something we should have probably kept.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did not know.
I know a rope tensioner before, and I've seen people and then be like, I found and threw it away. Valve stems, Melissa.
I have
throwing them away, not knowing.
Or 3.
I have thrown away.
Did not know it.
The not the valve stem itself, but the nut. that would actually have I've thrown those away just thinking it was a nut. And I have actually been in live streams and told people that, yeah, I found one of those and threw it away because I did not know what it was. And I know we've all, as detectorists,
it happens
when you're a novice and you're just starting out, you're going to find something. Well, that's junk. And then you're watching a video, they find it. Oh, look, I found this Civil War thing. And I'm like, I just found that and threw it away.
Yeah, it happens.
That happens, guys. Truly, it does.
Yes. In fact, I had found that valve stem cover, found 2 of them in a permission at the park over here in one of the houses.
Yeah.
And I had no clue what it was. Dug it up, found, like I said, found 2 of them. They looked the same. It was not interesting to me. It was not something that looked appealing. So it went in my pouch. And then when you get home, you clean your pouch out. And it's just one of those things.
Yeah, Cynthia, I'm having a big time brain burps tonight.
It happens.
It happens.
Dirt Claus says, I'm so thankful for people like Cynthia and others that have told me what things were in my video that I thought was junk, like some Model T parts. I was so happy to find. Yes.
I have had a lot of people identify things for me.
You're right, Patty.
It was like the big
Cynthia knows her stuff.
The big bird I found here a few videos back. And actually, the person that told me, I think they were joking on it, but they hit it right on the money that it was a hood ornament.
And I have forgot.
It was off an old Ford.
Quail.
An old Ford. And I think they were just kind of joking that it was a hood, but it was.
It was a hood ornament.
I never even went there with hood ornament thinking. And so then what they had told, and they were right on the money. And I found a picture of one just exactly like it. And it was a big hood ornament.
Yes, it was.
For a vehicle that was made by Ford. And it was like a big quail
it's a quail, I think was what the bird was.
Or a pheasant or something like that.
Something to that effect.
Absolutely. So that is one thing I have found.
There you go, Doug McClure, Ford A model with the quail ornament.
Yes,
Doug, you were the one that said that.
Absolutely. But it was, and it's exactly what it was. I mean, so you always remember, you dig stuff and throw it away sometimes. You might be throwing away something good, but we've all done that.
I remember him saying quail.
And I've always said, if you have a question about a find, anyone on here is going to help. Someone on here is going to help you. Someone watching, someone somehow will know or look it up, find a way to find it up. And I've loved that this community, that people are so willing to help with finds.
Yep. Now
there is just some stuff, mystery items. We all get these mystery items, and you wonder sometimes, what in the world would this thing go to? I mean, your brain starts,
I always think it had a purpose.
But everything
has
had a purpose. I don't care what you do.
Whether it's broken.
It had a purpose for something, no matter whether your brain can think of what that purpose might have been, but it did have a purpose.
Yeah.
I have found items and be like, what in the world would have someone fabricated something like this?
Thank you, Finding America, Greg.
What would someone have fabricated something like this?
Have a good evening. Thanks for joining us.
I mean, but hey, that's the fun thing about metal detecting.
Cynthia says, my uncle had a Model T. I used to look at the car and remember lots of those parts.
Yeah. Well, see, when we was at the radio museum and doing the tour, we was looking at some of the old cabinet stereos.
Mm-hmm.
Now, hear me out, guys.
Listen to this.
Some of the handles and the knobs and the decorative trim work on some of the old stereos, I have seen detectors find that stuff, and me myself have found that things and not known what it went to.
You think it may have been just a common drawer pull.
But it could have been to an old stereo. And I point that out in a video you're all going to be seeing from that, of this stereo that's got a little knob that's almost looks like a little door knocker.
Yep.
It was on a little hinge like this, and I have found that, and I've seen other detectors find those and not know what they went to, and more than likely could have went to an old stereo that someone had, because some of these stereo, you don't think stereo cheap box.
Think of the cabinetry of them.
Think furniture.
Yeah.
Because some of the stereos you're going to see in those videos are some of the most awesomest piece of furniture you'd ever see. And the design and the craftsmanship is just awesome. So I started, and I mentioned that I know there's detectors out there that have found knobs and trim work and stuff that they did not know what it went to.
Right.
And now I'm seeing this and thinking that stuff that they have found has been to old stereos, cabinets and stuff, radios that was in people's homes. So yes, guys, when you all see those videos, you will see and you'll say, daggone it, he's right.
Yeah.
I have found something like that, did not know what it went to, and more than likely, it probably went to an old radio in someone's house.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely, guys.
Dirt Cloud said, I was so thrilled to find my first Model T valve stem cover about half a mile from the house on an old road leading to some old homestead.
I was, when I finally realized what I was finding. See, that's the thing, Patty. I've thrown valve stems away, and until I started paying attention to a couple of videos, and I'm like, I found those and thrown them away. Okay, well, we all live and learn.
We all live and learn.
We ain't perfect. None of us are perfect. So,
yeah.
Well, listen, guys, it is 2 hours and 6 minutes
10.
in this video, and we are a video. Well, it will be a video.
It is a video.
It's a live stream right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're into this, and we're going to call it. I'm tired. We got a busy day tomorrow.
Hey, thanks for joining us, but we're getting ready to call it a night.
Go back, and if you want to be bored for 2 hours, go back and watch the replay.
Oh, Danny Boy says, when I was a kid, we had a TV built-in record player and 8-track 2 radio as well. Thing big, bulky, and was pretty cool.
Let me tell you, you're going to see some cool radios and stereos and turntables built into furniture. You'd probably be like, I've never seen nothing like that.
That's what I was
they
going
make
to
stuff
say.
like that.
We have our video
this Monday.
Then
the next video will be the first radio museum video, and you're all gonna love it. I'm telling you,
see you,
you're going to see stuff over those 3 videos.
Love you too,
that they
Dad.
made that you will not be like, I never knew they made. And then some of you guys are probably going to be out there and be like, oh man, I remember those. I remember that. Oh, how cool. I guarantee you're going to enjoy that 3-part series on the radio museum.
It was very interesting.
Very interesting. You're all going to, I think you're really going to enjoy it. But I'm rambling, and we're going to get off here, guys. We've had a good night.
Yes, we have.
I hope we've hit on some subjects
Love
that
you
you've
too,
liked.
Good night.
You know, we just wing it here at Clark's Cove. You all know that. And I'm sorry for my brain freeze tonight. I got off a couple of times. I had to have you all help me get back on track. It happens. It's been a busy week.
I've been doing this lately, guys, keeping notes of subject, like where you see the X here. It's what we talked about last week,
X
and
marks
this here's
X
this week. So
see, she puts the X here, so you know.
X marks the spot. But yes, it's been a pleasure this evening.
Whether you hear it's liable to be her, and
that's right.
Brain farts. If she showed up on Saturday night by herself, everyone would be, well, I see Melissa finally.
Thank you, Danny Boy.
I see Melissa finally knocked him in the head.
Found the iron skillet.
She got the iron skillet out. But no, guys, we love you all. We'll see you probably next weekend.
That's the plan.
That's the plan. You know, the plan is we'll be right here 8:00 next weekend, hanging out with you all, chatting and talking. Have a good week.
Yes.
If you're out detecting, I hope you find your bucket lister.
Yeah.
If you're out, whatever you're doing, treasure hunting, may your finds be great.
Yep.
Always remember,
if you lose it,
we find it, and we will see you guys on that first good
Cover find.
Thanks for joining, everyone. We love you. Have a great weekend.
Love you. Good night.
Be safe
Thanks
out there.
for joining us, guys and gals.
Later.